So, hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with OMI Homie number 74. That is the show that we are on. Liquidations, Disruption, VeVe Comic-Con, and more with my co-host, Dr. Stuff and Crypto Rain. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. And gentlemen, it has been a pretty interesting week. It has been a wild week with what I said before. Liquidations on stuff. Trump getting snubbed for a Nobel, then you have potential trade war with China, but then Polymarket says probably not, and a lot of criminals, a bunch of Binance kind of FUD out there. But we'll be talking about what we like with disruptive companies, VeVe and OMI, and all that jazz. How y'all doing today?
Good. I have a mic.
Good, man. I'm good.
Half my brain is somewhere else. The other half is here with you all. But where half of it is, I don't know. It's not accessible.
That's fine. I've seen MRIs of people with a good amount of their brain gone, and they don't work for NASA or anything, but they live relatively okay lives. So I'll take what we can get here. I feel like the new, less improved Rain is still probably better than most other co-hosts out there. So I'll take that. Shout out to everyone saying can't wait. Let's freaking go, OMI homies. And the Vader drop after almost a month finally sold out. So golf clap for VeVe on that. Took them a while. I don't know if you guys, or I think I went over this last week. So we just had New York Comic-Con, but the week beforehand, it was DesignerCon over in Hong Kong. And there was one guy there that bought $37,000 worth of stuff. And I think that shows that, like, not saying that everyone's a dodge a profit or even like 1%. But I think 1% of 1% can be, which is 10 out of every 1,000 people, or I'm sorry, 1 out of every 1,000 people. So we've had an extra couple hundred people come in throughout the last few weeks. I am not 100% sure what that was. If that's from Decon, is that from New York Comic-Con? That's great. It might be from that new affiliate guy that we have, Bombtastic. Have you guys heard of him?
Mm-mm.
I've seen him because he's been talking about like VeVe and stuff, and so I saw that they announced a partnership with him, and I saw one of his videos. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, I had 700,000 followers on YouTube, 20-ish thousand over on X. So obviously the main hub for him and his subscribers are YouTube, which I think that's how, we had a bunch of people find out about it 4 years ago. I think since then, TikTok really blew up for older people. Threads kind of blew up, but is YouTube still the place where they should kind of focus their affiliates? Like, hey, we need YouTubers instead of, let's say, like TikTokers or Facebook influencers, if those are even a thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, what I like about YouTube is long-form content allows you to give a lot of explanation. But Twitter, has its place during a bull run because you can write out some logical content there. I've always leaned more towards YouTube myself, so I'm highly biased towards it because I want to hear the reasoning behind it. So that's why I lean to. What will do well? I don't know. I don't understand people buying huge amounts of crypto off of a few tweets in Twitter. I just know that some people do it. That's just not how I approach it. So I don't know which is a better avenue to go. Probably I'm highly biased towards long form content, YouTube, where you can make an explanation of why you really like it and why you think something will do good, so people can hear and see your reasoning. I think I like that path better personally.
What about you, Doc?
Yeah, I'm with Rain. I'm with Rain on that. I think YouTube, crypto Twitter. There's a lot of people in crypto on Twitter, but yeah, how many of those people jump at the sign of a tweet from an influencer compared to what they're talking about on the YouTube channel? I feel like YouTube, at least in the last cycle, those crypto YouTubers were the influencers for crypto. That's where people went. BitBoy, and depending on your chain, you have Crypto Crow or Like there was different influencers for different blockchains and stuff like that, but most of them were on YouTube and they got so many views and things. And so it would be those people probably who are tweeting stuff out on X, but their big followers on YouTube. So yeah, that's where I think that I would think that they would focus.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We have, I don't know how many people are going to be super pumped to try to get into crypto since we had that insane liquidation event on Friday, I think 9.5 billion that was wiped out, which was bad enough. But then we found out some of the reasoning for that is that on Coinbase, Robinhood, and Binance, they say it's because there were so many users at once. That may or may not be true, even for part of it. That Atom had gone down to like, I think, ATOM to like 001, happened to be depegged. And then we have people that just were not able to go in and add to their leverage. They weren't able to go in and buy or even trade from all of these. And it doesn't really put exchanges in a good light. Do you think that people might be able to go to be more interested in DEXs now? Because like, okay, well, clearly sexes are going to screw us because that's how they make money. And again, that's just me kind of putting words in their mouth there. So take that with a grain of salt. But do you think DEX is like, say, okay, we're going to trust Uniswap because Uniswap hasn't done this, or if they have, it hasn't been, this is the worst liquidation event ever. If Uniswap had done this, it was not nearly as this big a deal. Or something like Stacker, which has had its issues in the past, or like, hey, we can't bridge right now, or can't do whatever right now. But again, no serious liquidation events. Or is that something that people are just going to avoid altogether?
I mean, I think it's the more automated your system's going to be, the less option there is for corruption and for errors. Like there can be coding errors and things, but like I still have PTSD from freaking Robinhood screwing me on GameStop, man. I had bought some GameStop stocks and like the price had pumped significantly. And I tried to sell it, and then my account was locked and it was frozen. And I could buy more GameStop, but I couldn't sell it. And it was, and by the time I was able to sell it, the price had dropped significantly. I mean, I still made some money, but like nowhere near what I should have. And I was just like, F this, these mother truckers, dude. And so like I withdrew all of my funds from Robinhood, and I have never looked back. I'm just like, I refuse. And it's so funny because now everyone's like, oh, Robinhood's so crypto friendly and they do all these things. And I'm like, yeah, after they screwed the retail investor, you think that they're not going to do it again? Right. And now Coinbase has freaking done that. Like, yeah, it's sketch, man. So yeah, I would way rather deal with DEXs that have been audited and continue audits as they upgrade things. So I don't know, man. Yeah.
Both have their risks, right? DEXs sometimes get hacked and it breaks things down. Centralized exchanges, like what we saw with Robinhood, essentially that there's bigger players that Robinhood had a higher allegiance to than their own users. So like you're just playing different risks. I played both of them. But the problem with centralized exchanges in doing leverage, like I'm always telling my audience that we don't do leverage here. Like crypto is so volatile enough. Leverage, you can be right overall, and you're fairly right thinking like the bull market is coming. It is, but you just had to be wrong for 4 days and it'll wipe out your entire wallet. Like some people, because they were using collateral across everything in their account. On their leverage positions, they got their whole accounts wiped, just gone. And maybe the centralized exchanges went down because it was trying to process all of that and do so many transactions, just couldn't handle that. Went down. I don't know, but I do know whenever things go crazy like this, the centralized exchanges always overload and you lose access to them. So like you almost have to plan for that. Number two, this is exactly why I encourage people not to do leverage. I released a video this last week on how leverage trading last bear market into the bull market cost me $2 million in upside, like $2 million of gains that I would have had. And that was a painful lesson. Was it worth it? Well, my audience, if they listen to what I shared with them about not trading on leverage, I'm not aware of a single person that got wiped out. So in that sense, it was worth it.
Understand. Appreciate the videos. I saw that one as well. Very good of you to warn your audience against leverage trading. I did that a total of once and never again. Anyway, this did happen on Friday in the midst of New York Comic-Con, and I was telling people that was probably, well, not the liquidation event, but that Friday of the con was probably my favorite time of the whole weekend, when it was me, Tammy Hannah, and Yo Steph in the room. They were taking like a nap. I was like, I'm just gonna stream, because like people were gonna get in there at like 7, so I'm gonna stream at 6. And then, you know, I said, oh hey, Spencer's on his way. Oh hey, Dr. Stuff's on his way. Like, go to the lobby. Someone go get him. And because I'm streaming, and then I wanted people to feel like they were there. So Steph's on the bed, Tammy is getting like her makeup done, and then Spencer comes in. We have the hug on camera, and then Dr. Stuff comes in, and we have the hug on camera. It's like, I hope people are really excited. There was a few hundred people there. I think a few people were excited. That was like my favorite. Like, we weren't at the con, we weren't at dinner yet. It was just us kind of getting together. And I think like MLMs do this, and I think like, but I think we need these types of events more, because I'm never more supercharged and like ready. Like, I feel like I have that dog in me after these events, and I'm ready to go, just because you get, I don't know, it just recharges your batteries. It lets you know that everything's going to be okay, because we were at the con and we had these a line around the booth. Granted, there was a couple of artists there that were signing stuff, so that might have been why as well. Doc, favorite part about the con, about this weekend? What do you what did you get the most out of?
Well, I had two fun things. I mean, I loved going to like the open party, where it was more than just the VeVe gold and silver logo holders, right? Like, there was more fame there, and that was a lot of fun. And I mean, it was bigger, but still small enough where you could have a lot of different conversations. I got to meet Ray Fixie. That was interesting, you know, to meet him. Just like, cool. Just the history that guy brought in. Yeah. So meeting him, and then signing the head with someone's head with a permanent marker. That was
every year
wild. And then listen, I got to hang out with Dr. Profit most Saturday. You know, like, we walked around and just chatted about a lot of things, and went to some different markets and ate some good food, and then hung out with people Saturday night. It was funny, man, actually, though, trying to get my backpack from your room.
Oh yeah,
this Saturday morning, bro. Oh my gosh, man, I was so stressed trying to get that. I almost like.
Well, Tammy was there though,
that was
right?
the whole
like
thing.
Tammy was there though, right? Like, she was able to let you in.
Well, I mean, she was asleep though, right? So I'm like,
yeah, she
her,
was not really good.
Finally, I get this text, and she's like, I overslept. Like, what the heck? Randy didn't wake me up. Like, all this stuff. Right?
I did. I mean, I'm not gonna go over it now, but yeah, it was. I tried.
Anyways, so she was super late. So, and like, I didn't realize how late and stuff. And so I get this text. So she's like, I gotta go. I've dropped off your backpack at the front desk. I'm like, what? And I still had other stuff in the room. Yeah, dude, that was pretty funny. And
sorry.
No, like whatever, right? Like, that's part of the adventure. Like, I got my stuff, and it was funny to see that. But like, speaking of like, so Iron Man, you know, like I saw him at the party, and I was like, I got to talk to that guy, and then got caught up and didn't get to speak with him. But there was a lot of people there. It's just fun. Like, that's my favorite thing about these community events, you know. And just one other thing with it too, you know, the market can be doing all this stuff, and like, at the end of the day, like, meeting all of this community who are just there. Like, listen, we all want to make money, let's be honest, but like, at the same time, like, people that are still here they're like in it for the long haul, right? Like there's already been, you know, the VeVe FUD year of 2023. Like that was probably the most intense that things really got. Like, I mean, it was just like spaces every day with Fudders, Paul Barron. Like there was just a ton of stuff with that, right? And anyone who stuck through that and is still here. Oh, you know who I also got to meet that like I'd only ever met like and on X was Yona Lisa. And it's funny because like you see people's profile pics, and I always am like, is this some like 45-year-old dude, like, you know, posting a girl's picture, you know? So it was funny because she was like, I'm Yona. And I was like, Yona. And then I saw her face and I was like, wait, I know that profile pic. And I was like, you're really who you say you are in your profile pic, you know? Like, it was pretty funny. So, and I got to recommend some different food joints that she tried out, and she was a big fan. So anyways, fun to connect with the VeVe fam. Like, I love that. So
Yeah, we met in 2021. She followed me from the Earth2 videos over to VeVe and OMI. So shout out to her for that, for being a listener for 4 years plus. Rain, we missed you there so much. I think even Turtle Golf had said it before. We missed you there, but we'll see you in Vegas in a couple weeks. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, New York is such an amazing experience. I miss seeing the family there. And before really spending time in New York, I didn't think I'd like Manhattan in New York, but I've loved it there. Manhattan's quite fun, cool place. The Comic-Con there is amazing. So, yeah.
So we have, speaking of Turtle Golf, he said he bought a couple of Argo Vader boxes. You can, most likely you'll get the one of 3450, and if you do that, you get I think the silver that's in it is like it's like $12-15 with the silver, but the actual collectible has been going on eBay for like $60-70, which if you bought it in OMI, that's almost retail, because we got it for like. So first off, shout out to David Yu for being at the booth like 24/7 to allow people to buy it in OMI. They send it. I don't know what wallet it was. A new wallet. It wasn't the business development wallet, but send to him. Then basically he pays like the 109 retail for it. So basically just giving OMI holders a discount, which was great. More utility for it, and so we were able to get it for like $75. And if you got the tier 1 was the normal one. I think that's like going $60-70, give or take. The tier 2 is going for like 100, which is about retail. The tier 3, which is what I got. Let's go, Vader. Tier 3 Vader, one of 500. That one's going for a couple hundred. It seems that the Spider-Man ones usually like a 1.5x. And then if you got the tier 4, which is like the 5 grams of gold, just for the gold that's in it, it's like $625, $650. But if they haven't landed on eBay yet, I imagine those are going to go for a couple grand, just because they're so rare. There's only 50 of them. And then there was one guy that just got lost in the sauce on Saturday because they sold out on Friday. I bought 4 of them. I spent $1 million OMI on this, and granted, got it back. But Saturday, this one guy bought 35 boxes, so that's almost $4 grand worth. And he got the gold. So, you know, I think with everything, he probably got a couple of 1 of 500s as well. Probably made some money on it. So, but there's only 1% chance to get that gold. So Turtle Golf, I don't know. Depends what you can get it for. Maybe get it for more OMI. Dod, did you get anything at the booth for OMI?
Yeah, shout out to Turtle Golf actually for hooking me up, man. And he was the one who pointed out, like, I was just looking at the normal prices, and he's like, "Oh, shout out to VeVe for the significant discount with OMI." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, it's discounted. Do the calculations." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I got multiple comics, the Evermind 1 and 2, like the normal, and then the Ashcan edition. And then I got another zero. Why is my mind blanking out? Bad idea. That comic book that they released. I can't think of it right now. Do I have it back here? Oh, but the other thing, oh, you got the Nano glasses. I want those, dude. Where did you get those?
It was on like a website. They were essentially for free. You do this code and you just pay like $15 shipping, and then I'm giving them away though. If I can lose 6 pounds by Vegas, and if I can't, then well, actually, I'm also going to give away a common version of this if I can do it. But then if I cannot, then I give away 1,000,000 OMI, and we could do it on stream.
I like it. I like it. Well, speaking of giveaways, I won this at the VeVe party. So it's Evermind, and it's number 1, right? And it's a 9.8, but so Sean Chen and Daniel Wu were actually there, and so instead of cracking it open, I just had them sign the actual outside of it. But I got a video. Of that, man. Like Daniel Wu, and it was so cool. He was talking to someone, and I was like waiting. And maybe he just was kind of bored with the conversation. I don't know, but he like the guy's like talking to him, and he just like turns to me and he's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, I was just waiting. I was just wondering if," and he's like, "Yeah," and just like grabs it and like signs it, and I got this video and everything with it. So that was a lot of fun, man. But yeah, back to your original question. I got several comics and some VeVe Purple Hearts for OMI, and well, yeah, like, and again. Shout out to Turtle Golf. He knows exactly why I'm shouting him out. But appreciate it.
So on the Iced Coffee Hour, Graham Stephan's podcast, they had Andre Jick on recently. And Andre Jick, who's kind of not bullish on anything anymore, most of his videos are very doom and gloom, like Russia's doing this, China's doing this, the world's coming to an end. But when you see him on the podcast, he just seems relatively normal, not like he's kind of getting into that fear. He said that the only altcoin he does have is OMI. He does seem like he kind of gave up on it. It's just like, yeah, that's the only thing I have. If it ever becomes worth anything one day, I'll sell it. He actually does have a gold and silver VeVe logo as well, and he's probably going to come to Vegas because he hasn't redeemed any of the stuff yet, along with Pro the Doge. But yeah, how do we get someone like him back into the fold? Like, I don't know if he knows how to read balance sheets or if he knows researches disruption.
He definitely knows how to read balance sheets, but
yeah,
like a lot of it. Number one, there's problems with being an influencer covering YouTube. You get rewarded for covering what's already hot. So like, when did he buy the OMI? Was when he was making a video because OMI was in the news, and he spent $250,000 on it, and he was paying probably like 1 cent. It was near the peak of 1.4 cents. So he didn't get that much OMI. And the price has been devastated since then. So, like, can he cover OMI with the prices? Well, the video wouldn't get much traction compared to his normal stuff. And a lot of his audience would be like, what the hell, man? But it's an amazing time to cover OMI. Will he? Probably not, because that takes, like, guts to, I don't know, put your stake in the sand and be like, I know OMI is way down right now. I'm buying even more of it, even though I've lost all this money on it. And you might consider looking at it too. Does he know enough about crypto cycles to do that? I don't think he does. Really, dividend stocks are his deal. He's really good with dividend stocks, and he's great at magic, and he's a really cool, fun guy. I'm not surprised he's not buying more OMI. I'm not surprised. We got some kind of background noise going on.
That might have been me.
Maybe it's mine.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that he's not buying more OMI. And how do we get him back? Like, the market's going to take care of that. When the market goes crazy, then there's no longer the reputational exposure to cover crypto. You'll see all the major influencers jump on board and covering the new hot crypto. Like, we don't need to do anything. The market is going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to sit down with him. He's welcome to, you know, come over. I'll sit down with him. I'll explain to him the deal.
We'd actually see if we can just get him on.
Yeah.
Been on the podcast before, so I could reach out. So speaking of other stuff from the con we had before, it looks like we saw that VeVe logo or the VeVe coin that it looks like we're going to get. We saw that in New York Comic Con. We also saw an Akomi coin. I don't want to be as presumptuous to prognosticate that, yeah, we're going to get that for holding the Akomi secret rare logo, because I mean, you know, how much are they spending on these airdrops? Because these aren't just like these drops that they're going to airdrop to us that cost them nothing to make. No, this probably costs them, I don't know, easily tens of thousands, if not in the six figures. Because then they also have a third coin, a original OG VeVe coin, a blue logo VeVe. I don't know if that's going to get airdropped, or if that, I hope that they sell it for something, and they're able to recoup some money on that, because you know, if I don't know, Doc, what's your thoughts on that? Do they say like, hey, this is rewarding users, or it's and again, we know that the VeVe gold logo coins for the gold logo holders, it would make sense that the Akomi one is for the Akomi logo holders, but that's a lot of precious metal to give away. So let me know. Also, you're on mute.
It's half an ounce, right, for the Akomi one. And what's an ounce of silver is like $40, $50. So $25. Is that a ton to give away?
Well, there's the precious metal cost plus the manufacturing cost. So
that's fair. Yeah.
It's probably at least double that per one, just because.
Yeah.
Making them.
No, I mean, yeah, there might be like an additional little cost to it, right? I mean, and depending on what it is, like I'll probably buy it. Like I love my Akomi stuff, and there's not a lot of Akomi stuff. Tammy bought 8. She bought 8 what?
But 8 of the Agoro stuff. So she spent 2 million OMI on the.
Oh snap, girl!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Better replace those OMI, Tammy. Come on.
Ran, you would have been very upset with me because I bought I bought Phil D. Nice's jacket for 1 million OMI as well. Because it was just such a good jacket, and it looks so good on me. So I'll plead the fifth on the rest of it.
Just replace the OMI while it's still cheap, and you're fine.
I will soon. So like within 48 hours soon.
Yeah, Tammy says already replaced all her OMI. Perfect. That's what I want to hear, because it is better to use your OMI and get the discount. Why not? And then just replace the OMI. Otherwise, the cost of those things for you, you'll see the opportunity cost will be huge.
Yeah. And Doc, what was the last bits of your thought for the? I forget what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, no. So I mean, yeah, I like, depending on the cost of it, I would buy it. And then with respect to the VeVe coin, depending on the price of that, like I'll probably get that too, man. Because like I like it's unique enough, then they're going to be limited, and I like owning little pieces of history. You know what I mean? I still have, and I like oh wait, I did that the wrong way. But that Spider-Man that I won from Comics and Crypto is the first. It's the first VeVe comic, right? And it's the first edition of the VeVe CGC label that's out there. I talked to David Yu, and he was like, "Oh, I want to buy it from you," and I was like, the price I'd be willing to let it go for is not one that you'd be willing to pay. So like, yeah, like it's kind of where we left it, you know.
Maybe he'll buy it from you and OMI.
Touche. Speaking of OMI, you got VeVe veteran, VeVe vet. We love him. So, hey, what's up, guys? Quick question. OMI's currently at 00022. How much OMI would someone have to buy to bring it up to 0003 across all exchanges, or across, like, you could do it with probably like 15 grand on like Uniswap on like base. Like you'd probably do it pretty low amount. On the rest of the ones, you'd have to look at the order books. On Coinbase, unfortunately, there is no order book on there, so you'd have to. Yeah, I'd say depend on which exchange you're looking at. I'm curious why. But yeah, OMI actually held up, I think, okay compared to a lot of the other. I mean, we were at 000, I think 2.5 or 2.7 anyway. So to go down here 15, 20%, I don't think it's that bad considering a lot of other stuff went way, way down. Delcasa, I love his questions. If you had to place bets of which is the blow off top in Q4 2025 or Q1 2026 or later, I guess it depends if you're talking about altcoins or Bitcoin and ETH. If it's altcoins, I'll say Q1. If it's Bitcoin and ETH, I'll say Q4. What do you guys think? Blow off top.
What's funny is I think Q4 is going to be really good for crypto, including altcoins. But I have to think with Jerome Powell possibly being at the Fed through May and Trump not able to fully bring the interest rates down like he'd like to, probably until Jerome Powell is out, and what that would do for crypto. Even though I think end of quarter goes really well, I think the full peak isn't until next year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that I think Q1, maybe even into Q2, depending on what happens. I think everything is just significantly delayed, man. And there's a lot of different reasons for it. But I totally buy into listen, I gotta move my thing so you can see my face. Otherwise, Devil Kyle's comments are covering my mouth. But I buy into Raoul Powell's like explanation as to what's happening, and when he thinks that the global M2 money supply and the global liquidity supply is going to increase, and he says that there's a high correlation that he's seen over the different cycles tied to Bitcoin at all-time highs, and so I'm not excited. To think that it's, like it's delayed even more. But it is what it is, man. Like, I mean, I've been holding this long. And so maybe it gives me a little bit like more time to stack some more. We'll see. Like I've said, man, I had a crazy amount of expenses, unfortunately, this year, which is really delayed my ability to load my bags as much as possible. So maybe this gives me a little bit more chance. I know, Bobby Green, man. That's cold, bro. That's cold. I'm 94. So you can rub in my face. However, neither of us are getting that level 100 thing. Unfortunately.
Chris Ashby says, hey, everyone. Appreciate you guys coming on, sticking with it day in, day out. The rains are coming. Bless the rains down in Africa. So we have a VeVe trying to get ready for the rains that are coming, the good rains. We have a new app update. It's mostly good. It looks pretty sleek. I like the way it works. The speed is good, but you still can't search for single issue comics. Is this something that I am nitpicking on, or is this something that that should probably be addressed at some point?
Single issue comics, like where you type in like the comic with the edition number and
you have to scroll like a few minutes to get to the actual edition. Like I could put in like I think I've done it with Fantastic Four, like number 1 or number 5, and it comes up with all the Fantastic Four comics, and I just have to continue scrolling.
Yeah, that's gotta get fixed, man. That's annoying. Like, yeah, there was multiple times where that's happened to me too. As it started clicking what you were saying, and I was just like. This like level of frustration bubbled up in me as I started recalling on
now that you reminded me, Randy, I'm out. Yeah, I can't get the comic edition number. I'm done.
That's it. That's what it is for me. I'm gone.
I've waited, 5 years, and now I'm out over that.
Okay, good to hear.
That is a pain, though. It is a sore point. It's like, oh my gosh, this is frustrating. Yeah. And then I move on.
So there are definitely things that I think are like legitimate concerns that is really just annoying. And the legitimate concerns, if you don't pay attention to them, they can come up and bite in the behind. Root Network, recently they just went down. They handed their X account to someone that was just in the community, so it's kind of like a CTO now. They remain unaffiliated with Futureverse. Because of that, what do you think is next for Candy and their DC Comics? Because, and again, Candy seems good. They have good IP. They have, you know, DC is awesome, but it seems that everything they've touched or everything that's touched it has kind of just kind of bit the big one. Who's ready? Who wants to even buy it now? Who wants to even go and take that chance? Because every time someone does, they end up dead.
I think DC should go to VeVe and make a deal.
Yeah.
Now, I have a bunch of stuff on Candy, and the truth is, like, cool, as long as we still have access to the stuff that we bought, great. But I'd love to see DC Comics on VeVe.
I agree. Like, I like what DC has done with Candy in the way that they do the rarity, you know, and how they update, like, or the, you know, the uncommon has all of those weird. I mean, it's the lowest grade, you know, and so there's all these coffee marks or like whatever kind of torn pages, and like I think that that's so cool. It's so unique, you know, and this is why I like competition, right? Is there's a lot of ingenuity that comes about. Like, we wouldn't have seen that with VeVe, right? They would have stuck with the way they did it, which is like, I have no issue with the way VeVe does it, but it's awesome to see different ways of doing things, you know. And we don't get that, man, if we don't have competition. So I really hope Candy can keep it together and find a way to make it work, you know, until this bull run and maybe or until digital collectibles become a thing and they can make a lot of money off that and keep going. But I would love to see it. So if they could go to VeVe and then still keep some of that stuff with DC Comics to keep it special and unique and different, I would love that.
I think the three of us should each make OnlyFans accounts to raise money so we can buy Candy and digital and take control.
I'm in.
OMI fans accounts.
I'll do some break dancing.
You know what would have been good? I don't know if I'll be ready, but an OMI calendar, an OMI calendar, and I don't think I'll be ready by December, whatever, to take pictures for. I'm trying. But
December I could be ready. December I could be ready.
I just got back to the gym a few weeks, and I'm not there yet. I've so far had 189 grams of protein and 1,810 calories today, so I got just a little snack, and that's mostly what I'm at, except for when I'm on vacation, and I gained 3 pounds in New York. It was insane. Gained a pound a day.
I ate a lot. I did not eat well. I mean, I ate well. I didn't eat healthily. You know? Yeah. But no regrets, man. No regrets.
I agree with Kyle on his follow-up super chat, if you guys have seen that. That because so many people are thinking not until 2026, it increases what I'm thinking the likelihood that we have an amazing Q4 this year, because that is the point of max pain, because so many people aren't expecting it, and that's when it usually happens.
So I do want to kind of push back on that a little bit, because market, from what I've learned or from what I've heard, a lot of intelligent people say is that markets like stability, and that makes sense. So Trump has a new peace in the Middle East deal between Gaza and Israel, Hamas, and all that. And even though he got snubbed for a Nobel Peace Prize, which I think he should have won, that should have been pretty bullish for markets. But the threat of a new tariff war with China of 130% tariffs on November 1st. And now, granted, this wasn't necessarily Trump's doing. Apparently, China was trying to blackmail all these countries to not do business with the U.S. One of them happened to kind of tattletale on them. And then Trump found out. He's like, okay, well, you want to do this to us on November 1st? You're going to have 130% tariffs. That's kind of what had that cascaded that insane liquidation event. if that happens and the Ukraine and Russia war still doesn't, Trump's talking about escalating. It's like, yeah, Putin, I don't think you're going to like us giving them tomahawks, and we might have to give them tomahawks, and they're not going to like that. I feel like the escalation of stuff is not. I mean, we already had a rate cut. We're probably getting another rate cut. I'm not convinced yet. Maybe because I've just gotten the shit beat out of me the last 4 years, that it's just impossible to see the forest for the trees are in the way. But
Yep,
give me something here.
And it catches you off guard, and you're like, wait, no, shoot, I'm finally not ready for it to happen, and it goes crazy. Yeah,
I mean, I'm ready for it to happen, bro. I'm ready for it to happen.
But is there a catalyst that sets it off? Because I mean, another 25 basis point rate cut, I don't think is going to do it.
The catalyst is green candles, and there's something that causes or is used as an excuse for the candles going green, and then people FOMO into it, right? So what really kicked off the blockchain gaming round of October 2023? Probably a video by Alex Becker, but then enough people jumped on board, it created some momentum, and blockchain gaming ran mid-bear market like crazy. And that was with not much outside money coming into crypto at all. When you saw blockchain gaming do so well. Now that everyone's awareness, everybody is somewhat thinking about crypto in the finance space. Like they're all thinking about it. When they see it starting to run away, then they start making moves in it. So they're just kind of watching and like, oh yeah, it's kind of staying there. When it starts running away, then they move massive amounts in, which really makes it run
away. I hope so, because I just, we went from like 109 to 126 in like 5 days, and you wick down to like 102, and that's like 115. It's like, I don't know. It seems that because you have a lot of institutions in now, people like it because Bitcoin's, kind of near all-time highs, and ETH will get there at some point. But I feel like people want institutional money, but they don't want the manipulation that comes in with the institutions. And are they? I don't know if we're going to get that, kind of blow off top like we have, because institutions, like when it gets to a certain point, hey, we're going to take some profits, which I expect them to. Obviously, if that bleeds into alts, that's great. I don't see retail here yet. I'm hoping. Don't mean to be bearish there. But.
So it reminds me though, like one of my favorite memes. I feel like I want to create this meme because I haven't seen this one specifically, just with like the latest Bitcoin like whiplash, right? Where like it jumped up and like something where it's just like one picture is, this green candle of Bitcoin to, one like new all-time high, 126, and Wall Street just being like, yeah. And then like the wick down, right? And like people just like freaking out, like, and then like them walking away or something and being like I can't handle this volatility, right? And then it's just like crypto OGs, and it's James Franco with that rope around his neck, right on the edge of the ship. He's about to walk the plank, and he's like, first time, huh? It's just like the crypto OGs, man. It's just like we've been here multiple times, like on the edge of death, and it's just like it just doesn't phase us anymore. I mean, like I'm tired of it. Like I can't. I'm not gonna lie, it's just like like another one of these things. But like it doesn't phase me to where I'm like, oh, like I'm worried, right? Like, and in fact, there's a guy, he bought a lot of XRP, and he keeps coming to me and he's like, what are you doing with your XRP? Are you selling? And I was like, it's down quite a bit, like, and I was like, right, like, but anyways, like I just walk with him. I'm like, this is like normal, man. Like I don't know what to tell you. I just think that there's going to be a pretty big jump at some point. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be high. It's going to go a lot higher than what I bought in at. That's my plan. So it's either going to zero or I'm going to be right, but I'm not selling before then, man. Like it literally is, it's going to zero or I'm right, but I would love for Rain to be right and for things to pump this quarter, and just like cash in on some of that.
Speaking of stuff going down or stuff going to zero, I'm trying to find the name of the dude. I forget it, but it's the Ukrainian influencer. I think that's Friday or Saturday during that liquidation event, happened to unalive himself in his Lamborghini because he was playing on leverage, lost his shirt, and then unfortunately his life. And just long story short, folks, check on your friends to see if they're doing okay, especially if they trade on leverage, because that is not a good time. Anyway, we have Max from the OMI Homie Max doing VeVe Whatnot live streams, which is great. Would love to see them do more. I know he did one at least on that Thursday or Friday. I don't know if he did one on Sunday as well. This is something where if they can do this and build up an audience on another platform, especially one with a market like that, I think that's good. VeVe exclusive products are great, but I think that you should have I think they should do Pokemon packs as well. Something that just gets an audience there, because maybe people follow them for Pokemon packs, and then it's like, hey, we're gonna do Pokemon packs today, but we're also gonna do some Ron English shirts. We're also gonna do some VeVe stuff, and then people are like, all right, might as well try this. What do you guys?
Beautiful idea, right? Because a lot of traditional collectors haven't made the transition into digital collecting, and it's a big avenue. I think it's where things are going to go. They're just haven't bridged that gap, and something like that would grow their awareness. And people need multiple touches to a new idea before they jump on board, or green candles to that. Like, what's funny is most of the time we do not jump in and absorb new information, except when we see our friends going like, I just made 20 times my money. That gets our attention and our focus like nothing in the world does. And then we're like, wait, what? And then we'll do like 15 days of research and stuff when they see it. And that's why bull markets go crazy, because then everyone starts doing the kind of research that they've been avoiding doing for a long time. The truth is, I'd love to talk to Andre Chick, because like Dr. Steph was talking about on that tweet about Wall Street going crazy as the prices are high. Like, literally, when you understand the game of crypto, the time to get super excited is when prices go really low. But that's when everyone's all depressed. And if you rewire that, so you get super excited when prices go low, because that's an amazing buy price, and you make your money on the buy. So by buying low, that's where the money is made. Selling high is, what you do after that. So many people do crypto and investing wrong, and they try to buy high, hoping it goes even higher. So when is everyone going to come in? Unfortunately, when Bitcoin's like 150, 165,000, when OMI is at 1 penny, you will see a line of people around the world that are trying to buy OMI, and you're like, man, you could have got it like 1/50th of that price. Like, I know, but I'm gonna hold it till $1, and it's like, it's probably not gonna go to $1 this cycle. Like, so anyway, but they buy high, hope it goes higher, instead of like when things go massively down, that's the time to get really excited. So like Andre Chick, love to talk some sense into him. I really like his channel. I love how good he is with magic, how relatable and cool he is. He's missing the bigger picture with this, and it hurts, because like he's aware of OMI, and it's like, I hope I can get him to see the bigger picture, so he doesn't take an opportunity loss that he could gain by really catching what's going on here.
Agreed. Markets really played it safe the last few years, and a lot of things that I think should have gone up massively because of the disruptiveness, they didn't. I think it's kind of due for their time. But again, that's over the next X amount of years. And I don't know how really big the next bear market will be, because there seems to be a bit more stability. We'll see. Anyway, Base app is deploying a new self-custodial wallet later this year. I think the rising tide of that Base chain will affect all those on it. They also, I don't know if they have Binance before, or there's this fight over on X right now between this guy named CJH Tech, where he had gone on and posted about how an offer from Binance. You have a 1% airdrop on day one for an alpha listing, 3% further airdrops in 6 months, greater than 1% for marketing at Binance, full discretion, provide 100% of the total value locked for token pool on PancakeSwap, which is $1 million plus, a $250,000 security deposit, 3% reserved for BNB hodler program, greater than 200K worth of tokens at MFN price for Binance affiliate marketers, greater than 2 million BNB security deposit for spot listing, and the offer that he got from Coinbase was build something meaningful on Base. So you have this big fight. You have Binance saying like, hey, we're going to take legal action against them. But everyone's saying, okay, then you're going to have people see like your order books and you're going to, or not your order books, just your listing stuff, which I don't think Binance really wants because it shows how predatory they are. Long story short, is Coinbase and Base, are they going to be the next biggest one? How big of a uplifting tide curve do you think they'll raise OMI, even without the NFT narrative running?
I think Coinbase is a big deal, and Base chain is a big deal, right? And I think that that's tied to they have an in with with the US, and they're compliant with all the regulations, and so like that's a big deal. So they don't have to worry about, like, not that the SEC is coming after groups anymore, but as they kind of, they have a big seat at the table of kind of the policy making, like, I think because of that, right? And so I guess what I'm saying is, like, long term, I think the Base is a pretty safe place to build. And when you combine that with how they're just like, we just want builders here. We want to build that out because we think that will actually enrich our ecosystem. We don't need all that money. The money will come as you build there, and then more people are coming, and then we get the transfer fees when people transact on Base, and that's all they need. You know what I mean? And so I don't think it's a good idea for Binance to do that. I think that it will expose them, and it will create more issues for them, and they'll lose more market share if they do that. So I love that OMI is on Base. I've loved transacting and buying OMI on Base and not on ETH. Oh my gosh, love that. And some of you guys haven't experienced it, but when markets go ballistic and then ETH is hitting new all-time highs, your freaking gas fees are insane swapping tokens. Now, for the most part, when it's so bullish, like, you don't care because you're still making more money. But how much more money would you be making, right, if you were doing it on a layer 2 like Base? So I'm a huge fan of Base. I'm a huge fan of what they're building. Yeah, love that OMI is there. And yeah, Binance, pretty predatory, man, to be doing that.
What are your thoughts, Ryan?
I like that OMI is on Base, which by default will give them access to Coinbase. Like, how big is it going to be when you can buy it straight up on Coinbase real easy? Bigger, but that in itself isn't necessarily going to mean tons of people are just going to go out and buy OMI. Like, if they did like a regular listing of OMI tomorrow, you'd get a few more people buying it, but you wouldn't see significant orders until the narrative hits. When that narrative hits, then you will see people piling into OMI like we did back in March of 2021.
I agree, 100%. Waiting for it. People ask all the time when. I tell them it could be next week, or it could be 6 to 8 months from now, or anywhere in between. We have no idea when, but I'm ready. Packing my bags one last time in a few days. Arturo says, what do you guys think will happen to OMI price in 1 month and 4 days when VeVe removes cash out and OMI is the only option? I think you'll have some certain prices go down because they're trying to cash out before then. But I mean, we've already burned 100 million OMI from Stacker. So I think the burns just go up and they accelerate at, I think, a meaningful pace, because if you want to go in and cash out, you need to do it for OMI. And most people are probably going to cash out $500 to a couple $1,000s, but some people will probably cash out a heck of a lot more than that. In one transaction, you had Miles Morales sell for $6,000. So, that burning a little bit, like, every bit helps. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I think that change gave OMI even more significance, and really the price took a big step up a week after that news came out. It didn't immediately. It was like a delayed reaction, but it did give OMI an even stronger use case, which also means more OMI burn as people are changing on Stacker. It does lead to more that's going to end up getting burned. So it was a big deal. Now, does it really kick things off and take the price up? I think it does a little bit. Doesn't it do it a lot? I think there's bigger things that need to happen for the price to really go crazy. But that alone, I think, increase the price a little bit.
Okay. So speaking of that Secret of Miles Morales that was bought for $6K, originally it was listed for about $9K, or like 9,500 over on Stacker. But then the price of OMI dipped, took 30% haircut, and then suddenly it was $6K, and the guy that listed it forgot or didn't think about it, and it's like, oh, didn't want to sell it for that price, but it did. That'll probably happen again. Like even if OMI's at 001, and then it goes back to 0007, you have that 30% haircut, and obviously that's bullish because we're still 3x from where we are right now. But you're going to have some arbitrage like that, and then they'll sell it again when it goes back up and rebalances. Do you look for any deals like that, or you're just like, nah, not worth it?
No, well, sometimes I don't. I'm holding on to my OMI. I've done very little transactions in OMI because I don't want to. I've added to my position, but I try not to subtract from it. Not that I wouldn't buy something that's like a 30% discount if you pay an OMI, and then I would just buy more OMI. But I look at that OMI as future gold. That right now the value is hugely diminished compared to what its realized value is. So I don't spend it.
Gotcha. Doc, while you were gone, Arcturus had asked, what do you think will happen in 1 month, 4 days when VeVe removes cash out and OMI is the only option?
I think that I don't think that day it's gonna jump up significantly. I think, but what that does is it'll cause a slow rise in demand. Now, it also depends because Arcturus, if crypto is pumping, which I think this quarter, I think the crypto is going to start pumping. And so if OMI starts to pump with that, right, it could be a catalyst to that. And especially if there's, if there is a discrepancy between the prices on the VeVe app and on Stacker, right, where basically you have more purchasing power with OMI now, right? And people are like, well, I just want OMI, and so I'm willing to list it for less. Even because they don't have gems, and they're just like, oh, I just want to cash out, and so I'll just list it for less OMI. And then you have, but the price of OMI has gone up, and then people are like, well, maybe I just want exposure to OMI too, right? So then they're selling their collectibles and just holding that OMI instead of cashing it out, because it's going up. I don't know, man, but I think that with the assumptions that things are just staying the way that they are. I don't think that there's just going to be this massive pop in the price of OMI when that happens. But I do think that over time it's a deflationary tool. And so and when the narrative hits and things go crazy, I think the collectibles will be worth more, and then OMI will go up and people will be buying, and then they'll be burning more OMI, and that creates its own little narrative. And it's kind of like a positive loop with that, right? Where the price can impact it even more. So
Super chat from Devil Kyles. And if you're forced to sell all your OMI and collectibles or sell all your Divinity and Illuvium, which one is it? I don't have Illuvium.
Did he do this last time with OMI or
he did with DEVVE.
DEVVE, yeah.
I think
questions. Kyle, you're killing me.
I like how this time though he didn't say just Rain and Randy. He didn't put any names this time. I see you, Devil Kyle. I see you.
I don't have Illuvium, but I have a lot of Divinity, and I guess I would have to say whichever CEO I hurt less with this. Like, who do I think it's just gonna roll off there? Because I don't know. Selling everything, David would be like, "What, Randy? What the heck?" Like, I'm one of their biggest supporters, which is, I guess I am for Dfinity too, but Dfinity's revenue stream is not based on the content that I make. You could make the argument that sometimes, like, yeah, some money goes into the token because of the content I make, partner with them, and I ready to get a Dfinity tattoo whenever Manu says so. But I think it'd probably be Dfinity, because I could do that, and that company, that, like, there's no institutional client that'd be like, Randy sold his Dfinity, I'm going to stop doing business with them. But if I were to sell my VeVe and OMI, there might be a couple people like, what just happened? Like, the biggest bull with the strongest conviction just sold. I don't know what that means, but I'm out. And is that going to be everyone? No. Will be a super tiny minority, probably. But yeah, I think that would negatively impact. So just based on that, that's what I'd have to do. What about you guys?
I'd sell my Illuvium over that 3 options. Like, and I love Illuvium. I was just telling Dr. Stuff, like, I think that game's going to ultimately be successful when we were talking on the phone earlier. But like, I think from where it's at, the price has 50x plus potential, but given those terrible options of what to sell, it'd have to be Illuvium, even though I'd love to have way more Illuvium at this price. Hell yeah.
I would sell. I don't have a lot of Illuvium. I have some Illuvium land. But I would sell Dfinity. I just think, I mean, it's a higher risk, higher reward play for me. But I guess I'm more sure about OMI than Dfinity. So, and plus, like, my collectibles, man. And this is the thing that I think, like, there's some nostalgia with that now. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to sell some of that stuff. So yeah, it'd be easier to sell tokens, So just selling my DEVVE as opposed to having to sell my OMI and my collectibles. I do DEVVE Dfinity.
Cool, Leo. So we have a couple other things to go over here before we get out of here. Trump is over.
Hold on. I did want to bring up one too that I thought would be good.
Yes.
Let me. What was it? Oh, maybe you keep talking. Let me look at it real quick.
Surely. Trump has over $870 million worth of Bitcoin, Forbes reports. I think that's pretty bullish as heck when a lot of other big people have this. We have a new weekly and daily record for stacker burns. They're up over 100 million burns now, or 100 million OMI that has been burned, which is fantastic. That's just some bullet points, but we have a new teaser from VeVe today. Have you guys seen that?
That's what it was.
Oh, very good.
The S.
Bring that up.
So VeVe tweeted that out with the eye emoji. Sleeping, you are missed, my friend.
What does it mean? I feel like Austin Powers. What does it all mean, Basil? Yeah, sleeping. I missed you, Bay. I wanna see you again. Please come to Vegas. I love you. S. The first thing I thought of is sulfur. That's what it stands for. That M on the periodic table. That's what Sam and Dean always ask about when talking about supernatural. So S for supernatural, S for sulfur, for ghosts. S could be for South Park. I don't see any reason for S to be Superman, because we already have him a couple times on here, unless it means Superman comics. I don't know. Those are my initial thoughts. Supernatural, South Park, maybe Superman, weak, distant third. What about you guys?
Do you think that that the picture that they took is the actual picture tied to, like, so that no, you don't think so?
I reverse Google imaged it, and there's no logo that has that, unless they took a logo in a different color and then they colorized it to make it something. Oh, wait a minute. what are the coins where it's like Philly is S, San Francisco? Now that I look at it, it looks like a scratched coin.
Mm-hmm.
Like S is like where it was minted from, so San Fran. So that could be another one. But anyway, that's what were you guys thinking?
Ooh, hold on. I'm gonna look at that.
Could be a nickel or a dime.
Could be from a logo. It seems like it would be from some logo, the lettering on a logo that might use that.
I'm just typing this in. Coins that have a silver letter S.
Well, it wouldn't be that it's a silver letter. It would have to be a silver type of coin. So any type of quarter before 1963, any type of nickel, because like that's clearly not a penny. That's not like a gold coin. That's not like a. I think it would be anything that's in like a quarter or a nickel, maybe a dime. Oh yeah, even Allen 401 says S looks like a coin the way it's shaped and chipped. Oh, Street Fighter would be dope. Street Fighter would be great. Tourist says taps trades. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Street Fighter would be great.
I'd love to see a Taps Trades collectible.
Ande says he's about to meet Squeebs in London right now. He's at Comic-Con here or something else. I don't remember what he told me. Very nice.
Squeebs is in London already?
I guess.
Wow. He was just in New York. I just barely saw him.
Maybe he just went from one to the other. Mr. Emser went to the Stacker logo. I don't know about that.
Oh.
Interesting.
I don't know why they would have, but like, why would they have Stacker logo like chipped like that? Like the imperfection. And it looks like it's very porous. Like it looks like it's got little tiny, like it's like a buckshot or something. Oh, Smith and Wesson would be great. Oh my god,
that would be kind of cool.
I would lose my mind. Yeah, want to go to a casino with him? He's crazy. He's not answering. Well, it's also like 3 a.m. over there, so maybe that's why he's not answering. You guys are great. I love you guys. So yeah, that S. Curious. That's the teaser. I might do a video on it. You guys gonna do a video on it?
Mm-mm.
No.
Doc, when are we gonna do this? Oh, I guess you're co-streaming here now. I feel like you normally don't though. Like you normally don't have the co-streams on, or am I tripping? And you usually do.
There's a while where I didn't, man. I just did not have the bandwidth to even set it up. I was just like, oh my gosh, bro. Like life was crazy. But I'm doing that now, but I haven't done like a solo video in some time. I just haven't. I think it really is just like the bandwidth to just, I have not had the mental capacity to then do that, even though there's a couple times where I really wanted to. I'm trying to think of, it'll come to me where someone reached out to me and they're like, are you going to do a video on this? I'm like, yeah, I want to do a video on it. And then I was like, I didn't do it. But yeah, but why the question about the co-streaming or what?
I think just Andy said, like, Randy, when are we streaming? It's like, I don't know. And then I was like, I'll make a video on this though. And then I was like, are you guys going to make one? And I was like, well, Doc, you haven't made a video in a while. Anyway, we have a couple hours ago, Trump awarded Charlie Kirk the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I think that was well deserved. I don't know if I would ever want one of those. I feel like if you get one, something horrible has happened to you. So
oftentimes.
Yeah, maybe after that. We'll see. I'll do a Devo Kyle here. As I have a little bit of money later this week. Right now, kind of be split between a little bit for me, but a little bit into DEVVE, a little bit into OMI. I just have so much Definity right now. I don't think I need any more of that, even though I always want more. But this is not enough money where I can do like, a little here, a little there, a little there. It's going to be DEVVE OMI for right now. If you guys were to get a windfall of, let's say, 20K, how'd you guys do it? Obviously, you can't go crazy with it, but you can sprinkle a little here. How'd you break it down with certain things?
I put half of that in blockchain gaming projects that are undervalued. Blockchain gaming, nobody's talking about that narrative right now. It's one of my favorite narratives for the coming bull run because this idea of ownership will transform video games, just like it's going to transform digital collectibles. Like, who cares that collectibles were digital before when you didn't truly own them? Like, you could just screenshot them and be like, oh, look, I screenshotted this. The fact that you actually own it is the big deal. The fact that you'll be able to use it in augmented reality and things, that augments what a big deal it is. But digital ownership makes a difference. And in video games, actually owning the things makes all the difference. Like, part of the reason I invested in Axie Infinity is they were the first ones that came up with this idea that you actually own the land that's going to be in the game. Like, you own it. And you get some benefit as people go across your land. I'm like, that is going to transform gaming. And so the blockchain gaming projects that come out with good ideas are going to make so much money that they'll be around for 30 or 50 years from now, like his studios. So I would be probably investing half of that into blockchain gaming. Like, there's a number of them. I frequently talk about them in my insider community on our Discord. And sometimes I do videos on them, but the other half would probably go into more OMI at these prices, more DEVVE, Definity, some of my favorites.
So I would definitely get some more DEVVE because I think that, you know, they said that they're announcing in fourth quarter, they're announcing their partnership, whatever that is. And if it's as big as all the hype has led us to believe, that could be a very big deal. It could be a very big deal. So because then I'd be able to take some of the gains from that and roll it into other things. But so I put a decent chunk into DEVVE. And then along with Rain, like specifically, I'd be putting money into Cornucopias. I'm so bullish on that game, man. Like, it's so amazing what they have built. Like, if you guys have not checked out Cornucopias, you need to check out Cornucopias. Like, it is a AAA game. And like,
what's the best thing to look at? There's like videos on YouTube. Someone have a TikTok of gameplay.
Yeah,
okay,
like they have. I mean, yeah, you can look at gameplay, but even if you just type in on X, type in Cornucopia's game, there's a ton of people who have screenshots or videos of like their land and exploring their land because they just did the land grab. So, I mean, I bought land forever ago, and we finally got to do the land grab, and I got a pretty sick piece of property that I'm excited. I haven't been able to explore it yet, but like I got to look at it from they did. Sorry, let me back up. Their land grab, first of all, they did an amazing job at how they divvied up the land grab. Basically, there's different rarities of land that you could have in different sizes, and so depending on the size, then the rarity, basically, like you could have a mythic, which was the highest level, and so if a ton of mythics selected this one property, then it would randomize the mythic that got it, right? But and then the next would be legendary, and so like it would randomize that and stuff, and so you'd want to pick a ton of different properties because of that. But so it's just like a way more fair distribution, and sometimes like, you know, there might be a property where there was a ton of mythics that initially selected it, but they got selected for something else, and so by the time we got to you, like all of the rarities above you got other properties, so you might still land like an awesome property. But you can look on X, you can look on YouTube, and just Google like freaking Google Cornucopia's gameplay, and it looks amazing. And they've got jetpacks now, and they're building out like the PvP like side of things. They also have, as we get into this, as you're exploring the land, like you're gonna be able to mine, you're gonna be able to fish. Right. And there's gonna be use cases for the fish, for the minerals that you're mining and things like in this huge economy. But also they have like these animals. I can't remember what they call them, but like there's at least these crazy bears. Like there's this whole story behind it. But like these bears that can, like, you're out in the wilderness, they can freaking attack you and kill you. You know, you lose all your stuff that you were carrying, you know, and you've got like respawn back and stuff. Like the thing that they're building out it's going to be a freaking amazing game. And this is Web3 that they're doing. But on top of that, like they're going to be releasing on Steam, right? Like they're looking at trying to get into Xbox and PlayStation stuff. And that's the type of, you get that marketplace or you get that exposure. And it can be huge if it's a fun game, which it is. It's going to take off. So like the market cap is crazy low on it. And so with Rain, I do think that Web3 gaming at some point is going to go big. So cornucopias, I like the diversification of decentralized science. And one of the projects that Rain and I have covered, Rain covered it first, and then we did a combined co-hosted interview, is with Genomes DAO, like in that token, and that's decentralized science. And we know that CZ is big on decentralized science and is putting a lot of money into that. And I think that that's one of the narratives that will hit again. And they continue to grow and are doing awesome things. And I did my genetic sequencing through them and actually got paid in tokens for sharing some of my data with them. It's awesome, man. So, and if I didn't mention OMI, I'm definitely going to be throwing some more at OMI. Yeah.
I just took a look a little bit of COPI for cornucopias, and $15 million market cap, 55 million fully diluted. They have a couple 100,000 in trading on the day, so not bad, especially for the number 1513 over on CoinGecko. If it has a good community, like you say, I should probably put some monies into it. If I was gonna go gaming, I would mention Earth2. They've been around for quite a while, survived a vicious bear market. They too also got scammed by Ben Gadenzi. So my heart got a little special place for my heart in them. Akash asked, what about DDOO comic update? I'm on page 5, but that has been interrupted because I have to write a. It's supposed to be a 1-page thing for the DACat crossover with another big company, so I'll let you know how that goes. But you have to have DACat being successful because DDOO is going to be in that universe. Anyway, we have Mr. Epsilon saying nice.
Here's some of the video footage and gameplay of them in.
Yep. Put it up closer to the screen.
Oh yeah. Sorry, there's a reflection.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah,
so
you're walking around with like jetpacks. They're flying. They're shooting. Like, it's pretty. And in fact, it was funny because there's like wild animals running around, and the guy is in the jetpack, like hunting down this elk. You know, he's just like flying and just shooting this elk and stuff. It's pretty freaking epic, man. So I think that Web3 gaming is definitely going to be a thing at some point in the cycle, and something like cornucopias where it's legit game. They've been building out the market cap's teeny. I think that has some substantial.
Is there a way you can go in and kind of like control the animals? Like, does your avatar have like special powers? Like, like +2 for animal control or +3 weapons expert?
No, but there's different gear that will like. I mean, it's more real life, like, you know. So there are jetpacks and stuff, and you obviously like don't burn your legs off when you're flying with a jetpack. But like, so there's tactical gear and there's other things that like have more armor, right? That will protect you in case like a bear attacks you or something like that, or someone else attacks you. And there's going to be kind of like open areas where it's just like, if you go in here, there's danger that someone could rob you and kill you and steal all your stuff, and you respawn and they get all your gear. And then there's like going to be safe zones and different things. So like people can kind of choose their own adventure that way. But yeah, no powers like, you know, animal mind control or something like that. Yet, you know, like that's not to say that maybe in the future they couldn't do something like that. But I don't think that that's kind of like the backstory that they're going with. But
I haven't seen that they have a skill tree yet, but that doesn't mean they don't put one in place at some point.
I think that'd be cool. Anything else before we talk off camera for a minute?
Nope.
Think I'm good.
All right, very good. All right, I will go in and end this right now. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Thank you all for coming. This is great. I love this game. I will catch you all later.
See you, fam.